Hello and welcome. It's a new video on Power Vision. Today I am not just Cyrus Dabar, I am Il Professore Cyrus Dabar, or I am your sensei, because I'm here to give you some gyan on Kia's brand new SUV. So what is this new SUV? Well, essentially it is 3 rows of seats in a new Kia SUV, and it's the bigger version of the Kia Seltos, but it's nothing like the Kia Seltos. We will get to that in a little bit. It's almost like a sister car, if you would like to call it that. And that's what they've done for a while now. Sonet and Venue, Seltos and Creta, and now you've got the Alcazar and the new Kia Carens. So that's what this thing is positioned as. So, Carens, what about that name? Well, it's not the Karens that you think you have seen on the internet yelling and screaming at people for no rhyme or reason. It's definitely not those. The name is, and I'm gonna read it from here, Car Plus Renaissance. Car of the Karens and the Rens Renaissance. Yeah, that. I think it needed a better name, but well, it is what it is. I don't think Kia is going to change the name, unlike Tata Motors has a couple of times, but nonetheless, the Kia Carens is what it is. Let's move on to more details. Right, so how big is it? Well, obviously it is going to be bigger than the Seltos. So as you can see, bigger overhang, a lot more space on the inside, and that's the point of this SUV. It's just a little bit stretched, a little bit bigger here and there to fit those few more people, just like the Alcazar does as compared to the Creta. Now, styling. Now this is what it is all about, and this is where this car is different from the rest. Now the Alcazar as compared to the Creta is, well, more of a nip-tucked Creta, which has gone through some Botox and plastic surgery and been made to look a little bit better or a little bit worse, depending on how you like it, because again, as I always say, design is a bit of a personal thing. I quite like the way the Alcazar looks. I think it will age rather gracefully a few years down the line. Some people disagree with me. That's, of course, their issue. The Carens, on the other hand, looks nothing like the Kia Seltos. Of course, you've got those typical Kia elements everywhere, which is obvious because it will have a bit of a family look or a reference to certain elements, but overall, it is a hot looking SUV. If you want to stand out from the crowd, those big, nice, chunky LED daytime running lights up front, and just the dimensions, and just the way the stance of this car is, will help you stand out from your neighbors, and it will help the Karens stand out in that parking lot of your society or your garage or wherever you actually end up parking your car. Overall, I think it is a very nice looking car. Now, the interior of the Kia Carens is honestly where my heart goes, because although I love the way the exterior looks, the interior, oh yes, that looks a lot better. Now, the Alcazar differentiates itself from the Creta with those chocolatey interiors. This thing goes a step above. You know what these interiors look like to me? They look like they've come straight off a Bentley. Blue and white? Yes, that's what we need to see a lot more of. People taking a chance, people trying to experiment. And by people, of course, I mean automakers. I really dig the way these interiors look. But it's not just about the way they look on the inside, it's about a lot more. Of course, a lot more means that extra row of seats in the back. Now, generally, an extra row of seats in the back doesn't mean a lot of space for the middle row passengers, but there is space for the middle row passengers. It's quite decent, in fact. Of course, that last row, better off for children or people you don't much like. But again, it is a 3-row SUV. The seats are usable, albeit for a short distance at the back. And you do get an option of a 6 or 7-seater, so you can have bench seats in the middle row, or you can have those very nice, comfortable bucket seats that I love to have a quick nap in. And I will when I get this car for a test very soon. What do you think though? Do you think this one looks nice? Do you think the Carens is a nice looking car? Of course, tell us in the comment section below. And since we are on the comment section, do remember, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. We're checking what you guys are doing. Go on then, take a pause, go and do that, and then come back to this video where we end up talking about a lot more stuff of the Kia Carens. What about what's under the hood of the Kia Carens? Well, just like the Seltos, it shares powertrain options. So you get the option of a 1.5 liter diesel that makes 115 horsepower, or you get the 1.4 liter turbo petrol. That's an engine that I particularly love a lot, and that makes 140 horsepower. Now obviously both of these will get a manual and an automatic gearbox. The diesel will get the torque converter automatic, and the petrol will get the DCT. And honestly, I might be leaning a bit towards the petrol, but I know for a fact that even the Alcazar, although it has those low power figures for the diesel on paper, actually ends up moving really well. And I know that this one, the Kia Carens with that same engine, again will move really well too. And just like I've said again and again, the automatic is the one you should go for, because why do you need a big 7-seater manual SUV in this day and age? Just get the automatic. Yes, this comes from an enthusiast, so trust me, the automatic is the way to go. Right, so let's talk about competition, and of course it goes up against the Hyundai Alcazar, which is the biggest competitor to the Kia Carens because it is the sister car, so that's an obvious rival. But the other rivals obviously are the new Mahindra XUV700, which sadly does still have a very long waiting period, and of course the Tata Safari. But the other rival, the one we all seem to sometimes forget and discount, but is right there in the mix and is still a very good car. In fact, it is one of the gold standards of people moving in the country, the Toyota Innova. Now on the bottom end, it might even go up against the likes of the Maruti Suzuki XL6 if you consider like the absolute base version of this car versus a fully loaded version of the XL6. But a wide spectrum, and we will know the prices very soon. So stay tuned for that, because that will of course come up very soon on the PowerRiff YouTube channel. But for now, this is a quick look at what the Carens is all about. Tomorrow you will have a quick walk around of the car, actually explaining and talking about what the car looks like in person. I'll talk about design up close, I'll talk about space, I'll talk about engines again, and just everything in between if I have missed out on something in this video. So again, stay tuned for that video and stay tuned for everything else that will come up on the PowerRiff YouTube channel. I can assure you, next year we start off with a big dhamaka.